Lee Marvin was born on February 19, 1924 in New York City into a family steeped in military tradition. His father served in World War I, and his brother would also take up the call of duty. Growing up in this disciplined environment instilled in Marvin an early appreciation for structure, courage, and responsibility, traits that would later define his rugged screen persona. He attended schools in Florida and New Jersey, but struggled to conform to the rigid academic system. A restless youth, Marvin often found himself in trouble, foreshadowing the rebellious streak that would become a hallmark of his acting career. World War II and its impact. At the age of 18, Marvin enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps during World War II, serving with the 4th Marine Division in the Pacific Theater. He experienced the brutal realities of combat firsthand during the Battle of Saipan in 1944, where he was seriously wounded by machine gun fire, injuring his buttocks and sciatic nerve. He spent over a year recovering in a naval hospital and was awarded the Purple Heart. These traumatic experiences left deep physical and emotional scars, but also lent him an authenticity when portraying soldiers, outlaws, and hardened men on screen, giving his performances a raw, compelling edge. Discovery of acting. After the war, Marvin drifted through various odd jobs, eventually working as a plumber's assistant at a community theater. A chance opportunity arose when an actor fell ill, and Marvin stepped in for a small role. This experience sparked his interest in acting, and he pursued formal training at the American Theater Wing in New York. Standing out due to his unusual height, rugged looks, and natural intensity, Marvin transitioned from stage performances to film and television. His early work showcased his capacity for portraying complex, intense characters, often villains or soldiers, establishing him as a distinctive presence in Hollywood. Early Hollywood career. Marvin's early Hollywood career in the 1950s was defined by supporting roles in war films and westerns. He gained attention with chilling portrayals of criminals and heavies, most notably in The Big Heat, 1953, and Bad Day at Black Rock, 1955. His ability to project menace and tension on screen made him one of the most reliable character actors of the decade. These roles, while secondary, laid the groundwork for his later stardom. Audiences and critics recognized a depth in his performances, rooted in his real-life experiences, making him stand out from peers who had not faced the same level of hardship. Rise to stardom. The 1960s marked Marvin's transition from supporting actor to leading man. In John Ford's The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962, he portrayed the menacing outlaw Liberty Valance opposite John Wayne and James Stewart, creating an iconic villain remembered in Western cinema. Marvin also demonstrated his range in Cat Ballou, 1965, where he played dual roles as both the drunken gunfighter Kid Shalene and the villain Tim Strawn. His performance, blending humor and depth, won him the Academy Award for Best Actor, solidifying his status as one of Hollywood's most versatile and bankable stars. Iconic films and performances. Following his Oscar win, Marvin continued to headline major films, most notably The Dirty Dozen, 1967. Playing Major John Raisman, he led a group of convicts on a dangerous wartime mission, creating a performance that resonated with audiences and influenced the war and action genres for decades. That same year, he appeared in Point Blank, a stylish neo-noir thriller, further cementing his reputation as a compelling anti-hero. In Paint Your Wagon, 1969, he surprised audiences by singing in a deliberately off-key style, showcasing his willingness to take risks and embrace unconventional roles, broadening his appeal across genres. Independent spirit and lifestyle. Despite his success, Marvin was known for his independence and resistance to Hollywood conventions. He disliked celebrity culture, preferring a private life focused on fishing, boating, and outdoor living. He spent much of his time in Tucson, Arizona, and Baja California, Mexico, away from industry pressures. Marvin was candid about his struggles with alcohol, which occasionally affected his personal and professional life. Even as the entertainment industry changed, he remained committed to roles that suited his rugged persona, valuing authenticity over fame, and cultivating a life defined more by personal interests than by the superficial trappings of stardom. Later career and film legacy. In his later years, Marvin continued to take challenging roles in films such as Emperor of the North, 1973, The Klansman, 1974, Avalanche Express, 1979, and Gorky Park, 1983. Even in his 60s, he brought gravitas, toughness, and complexity to his characters, embodying a brand of masculinity increasingly rare in Hollywood. His final film, The Delta Force, 1986, paired him with Chuck Norris, allowing him to revisit his military archetype as a grizzled leader. Throughout his career, Marvin's performances were marked by a blend of authenticity, intensity, and charisma, leaving a lasting impression on film history. Personal life and family. Marvin married Betty Ebling in April 1952, and the couple had 4 children: Christopher Lamont Marvin, Courtney Lee Marvin, Cynthia Louise Marvin, and Claudia Leslie Marvin. His family offered a private, softer side that contrasted sharply with his rugged screen persona. The pressures of Hollywood, Marvin's heavy drinking, and occasional erratic behavior eventually strained the marriage, leading to a separation and divorce in January 1967. Despite these challenges, Marvin maintained a close connection with his children, balancing the demands of stardom with his responsibilities as a father, which friends often noted as a deeply humanizing aspect of his life. Dislikes and Hollywood rivalries, Marvin was outspoken about his distaste for certain actors whose behavior he found arrogant, lazy, or unprofessional. Notably, he expressed disdain for Tony Curtis, criticizing his pretty boy image, and for Frank Sinatra, whose temperamental behavior on sets, including The Dirty Dozen, clashed with Marvin's no-nonsense approach. Marvin's candidness reflected his uncompromising personality. A decorated Marine who valued discipline and authenticity, he had little patience for ego-driven or careless conduct in Hollywood. His public opinions underscored his refusal to conform to industry norms, highlighting a man who preferred honesty over politeness in both his professional and personal interactions. Health and final years. A heavy smoker and drinker, Marvin faced serious health challenges later in life. In December 1986, he was hospitalized with complications from coccidioidomycosis, experiencing respiratory distress and undergoing surgery for intestinal ruptures. His health continued to decline, and on August 29, 1987, he died of a heart attack at the age of 63. He was honored with a military funeral and buried at Arlington National Cemetery, reflecting both his service and the respect he earned as a public figure. His death marked the end of a life characterized by intensity, authenticity, and a relentless commitment to his craft. Legacy and impact. Lee Marvin's career left an indelible mark on Hollywood. From supporting roles to major stardom, he brought a rugged realism to every character, often drawing on his own wartime experiences. His performances in classics like The Dirty Dozen, Point Blank, and Cat Ballou continue to influence actors and filmmakers seeking authenticity in portraying complex, morally ambiguous characters. Off-screen, his independent spirit, candidness, and dedication to family painted a picture of a man who lived by his own rules. Marvin remains a symbol of uncompromising masculinity, integrity, and the transformative power of personal experience in art.